Hello, captains, and welcome back to Let's Play Star Trek Online. I am on Ensign Ricky, and we are continuing the Gamma Quadrant missions with the new Victory is Life expansion. In the last mission, The Search, we had quite a twist at the end, and boy, that was definitely unexpected what happened there. So go watch that mission if you haven't, or that episode, previous one. It was very cool. Actually, it was, it was called Search. This one also sounds cool. It says, Odo leads the search for more information on the Herc at an ancient Dominion research station in the Meson system.
Odo's found something intriguing in the Meson system. Something the Founders want no one to know about, even one of their own. That certainly piques my curiosity. I'll meet you in the Meson system. Odo wants to travel incognito this time. I trust you'll be able to deliver him and that surly Jem'Hadar bodyguard of his to the Meson system intact. One more thing. I've taken the liberty of informing Captain Kira, and she'll be joining us as well. After the Karema incident, she's taken a personal interest in high-level Dominion activity, particularly where Ambassador Odo is involved.
Go to the ancient Dominion station in the Meson system. Ooh, looks like we've got a universal kit module, the Fek'Liri Chaos Blaze. Interesting. I hope that's not a spoiler, or I just spoiled myself to what to expect in this mission with the Fek'Liri there. Oh
Be
well.
seeing you.
First, let's go to the Gamma Quadrant. Now, the first thing I want to say before we begin this mission is that was very, I guess you could say, relationships crushed at the end of the last mission. Because if you remember the very last episode of Deep Space Nine, when Odo left, let's go to the Meson system here. When Odo left, it was a very dramatic scene where he put on his suit and walked into the Great Link, and Kira was there with him and watched him go in. There was a budding relationship there. They did have a relationship in the episode, in the series. It was very strong. It was very friendly. It was more than friends. It was a very strong connection between Odo and Kira. But in the last mission we just played here in Deep Space in Star Trek Online, that is crushed. Absolutely crushed. That relationship is no longer can be a relationship. She was not happy with what Odo did. I mean, he specifically drew the Herc to Bajor. Bajor, the planet that Kira is protecting. She's the Kai of, or was the Kai of, her beloved Bajor. It's almost like a betrayal to her, or it is a betrayal to her. You know? She already had a big scar there with the Cardassians and the occupation. And now here comes Odo drawing the enemy to her planet. That relationship is crushed, absolutely crushed. So people were talking about that in the comments, and I agree, that is a strong part of that episode, or that mission there, is just the change between her and Odo. So I can see anything that involves the Dominion and Odo, she would want to be involved with now. Definitely. She's keeping an eye on Odo now. She doesn't trust him. Also, I like the description of this episode, or this mission we're about to play, because I like these types of exploration missions. These kinds of missions where you go find an ancient artifact or something from so long ago that maybe has been abandoned for some unknown reason, and you rediscover it and discover its true meanings, and, you know, kind of an archaeology type thing in a way, but yet alien. And the fact that we've never explored a Dominion station at all, even in the TV series, So this is something brand new and exciting, an ancient Dominion station. It is so intriguing to me. What lies in the history of the Dominion, especially as they're connected to the Herc. The founders are keeping something from everyone, even Odo. So the founders have done something. They have done something. I cannot wait to see what. Let's find out. Let's play Doomed to Repeat.
I only recently learned of the station here. It's very old and very well concealed, even from Vorta and Jem'Hadar. From what I can tell, the founders studied alien life here, including the Herc. We may be able to recover useful tactical data on them from the station's computers.
So, the founders, I guess they are the creators of the Dominion, but before even the Vorta and Jem'Hadar were studying alien creatures, and very interesting.
No, and that concerns me. This is supposed to be an abandoned facility. Take us into comms range and open a hailing frequency. Let me do the talking. I should be able to make any Vorta or Jem'Hadar fall into line if things get difficult.
Well, that's at least something.
So far, so good. They're not targeting us.
Okay, so first of all, let's look around just a little bit here. We're in an asteroid field, or floating asteroids, and it looks like the station is built into an asteroid. So it's a Dominion station, all right, but it is built into the asteroid. Okay. Approach the Dominion ships.
Entering the Dominion systems without authorization has become a bad habit of yours, one I have grown weary of. You've shown a singular talent for annihilating the Herc. I suggest you return to that before my patience with your insolence expires.
So the female changeling has not changed. Let's just put this out there straight up. In 40 years or whatever, since we saw her in Deep Space Nine, she has not changed. So all of that time that Odo was linked with her in the link did not change her, which is very interesting. I thought over time his memories, his experiences would have maybe changed the changelings for the better. At least that is where the end of Deep Space Nine was hinting at. That there would be some kind of change because of his experiences in the Alpha Quadrant. So, yeah, you would think there would be that, but apparently she's the same. She's a butthole. She is straight up a jerk. She is just a jerk. Okay, noted. The ambassador has something to add.
There's no need for this posturing, Founder. We're here on official business under my authority.
Odo, it seems to be a day for defiance and bad habits. You do not have the authority to grant access to this system. It is restricted to all but those of the highest level, a level you do not possess. Now then, I suggest you leave immediately.
There's that audio change again. You can tell some inconsistency in the recordings here for Star Trek Online. I wish that everything was on the same level. It would just make it more fluid. Anyway, we'll just kind of look past that as usual. So interesting, though, that there are these different classes of founders now. That was never a thing. The founders were always supposed to be equal. Odo should have, the same level as any other founder. Odo should be upset about that, right? You would think. He should be like, excuse me, but I'm a founder too. Hello, yo. Just because you sent me out away from you guys a long time ago to explore things, I'm still one of you. We're not going anywhere, Founder.
Fire to disable. Odo must not be harmed.
Wow. She's willing to fire on us. Also interesting, they'd have a facility
Dominion forces.
That is so secret.
This is Counselor Garrick aboard the Tane. Cease hostilities. Consider that
Garrick.
your first and only warning.
Counselor
We must
Garrick.
protect the Founder. All ships, disengage.
And that is so cool. They came in and we made the Founders.
You certainly know how to make my days more interesting.
We made the Dominion run.
Ancient Dominion research facility, guarded by the leader of the Founders. A cloaked fleet pales in comparison, but it's the best I can add to the mix.
Wait a minute. So Cardassian ships now have cloaking devices? Wait a minute. Something's changed there. We got to talk about that because, hello, the Cardassians have never had cloaking technology, so where did they get cloaking technology? Did they steal it? Did they get it from the Romulans? Did they buy it? Did they steal it from the Defiant? Like researching its cloaking technology, which is a Romulan cloaking device anyway. Or was it, or the Klingons? Did the Alliance give it to them? Or I wonder, how did the Cardassians get a cloaking device? That in itself needs a storyline explanation right there, because all of a sudden they can cloak. Or at least maybe their newest ships can. I think that the new Cardassian ships we get in this game are Intel ships, and if they're Intel ships, I guess that would mean that the Alliance helped build them and gave them cloaking devices? I don't know. Okay, well, first of all, there's that. Second of all, the Cardassians coming to the rescue here for us and driving the Dominion away. We made the Dominion run. Also, a secret base that the Founder doesn't even want Odo to find out about. Hello, that raises some red flags.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world. The fact that the Founder was willing to fire on one of her own speaks volumes on this station's worth. I look forward to discovering its secrets.
Also, I could have dealt with those two Dominion ships by myself. Just saying. I could have.
Since when does the Founder stand guard duty, Odo?
She doesn't. Let's find out what she's hiding.
At least Odo is willing to go forth and find out what she's hiding and not make excuses for her. So there's some growth on Odo's part.
We don't have a lot of time. We may have held off the Founder for now, but she'll be back, and she'll bring friends. Let's get down there and find what we came here for, before every Jem'Hadar in the Quadrant shows up.
I couldn't agree more, Captain. Why don't you and the Ambassador join the away team while I remain on guard with my fleet?
Thought you wanted to find some secrets, Garrick.
On any other day, I'd be the first to beam down. However, after the Karema incident, I believe both the Captain and the Ambassador need to discover the truth of this station together. Call it a trust-building exercise.
Wow, that's very diplomatic of you, Garrick. Okay. Yeah, I want to look at the Cardassian.
Captain Kira makes a good point. Let's get this over with before it...
I want to look at the Cardassian fleet real quick, because, yeah, these are the new Cardassian ships that are in the game, and they are Intel ships, I believe. So they have cloaking devices. And there is the USS Defiant itself. So, yeah, very interesting. Okay, let's move in.
Captain Kira makes a good point.
Taking my whole away team with me, apparently.
Looks like the station's running on auxiliary power. We've got life support, basic lighting, not much else. If we're gonna get anything useful out of this relic, we'll need to get the main power back online.
It is old, apparently.
Stay vigilant. We have no idea what to expect here.
I like the lighting, though, in this particular map right here. It's so very dramatic. Look at those long thrown shadows. This pleases my immersion a lot. I love that. Good old shadows. Okay, this is very creepy, which I also like. Upper level, turn on main power.
Well done. Main power is back online. We'll be able to access other systems, including the data core. Let's find an access console and see what's in there. Hopefully the data files aren't corrupted beyond repair.
Okie dokie, activate data servers. Which is, I'm guessing, through there, but let me just look around real quickly. Guess there's nothing of note in here. Looks like Catcher Cell White containers would be appropriate for the Jem'Hadar. We got that room in there, but let's see, or that room, I mean, let's see if there's anything else. Just another storage room. It's a big place, though. Okay, well, let's go activate the data servers.
This terminal is in poor shape. None of the files are accessible. Considering their age, I'm not terribly surprised. The Founders wouldn't keep a place like this hidden to protect dust and broken files. Let's check all the data terminals and consoles in the area. That one over there looks reasonably intact.
Oh, we got a lot in here to check. Well, we got a lot everywhere to check. We got 7 station logs. Okay, well, let's just start right here.
Research Report 4121.63, Dominion Reckoning. My fellow Founders, the Mesan Research Station is fully operational. As we continue to add worlds to our sphere of influence, our studies of xenobiology become more important. We must know all we can of both friend and foe. We need every advantage we can find if we are to achieve true dominion.
Literally the word dominion there. I never thought about that, but the dominion... Maybe the Founders' goal is to take over everything. And hence, the dominion.
Our Premier project is underway. You'll recall the recently discovered race of tree dwellers, hunted as we once were. Genetic engineering of these solids has produced considerable results. Their intelligence has increased by a factor of 3 so far. We predict this species will be the first of many loyal servitors and vassals.
They're literally creating and genetically altering species to raise their intelligence and make them their servitors. Does this not remind you of the Iconians all over again? The Iconians genetically modified the Heralds to bring their intelligence up to serve them, and they treat them as pets, but they do take care of them very well. But it's almost the same thing, except maybe here it's for a different reason. The Founders are after what she said, dominion. So a tree-dwelling race. Interesting.
She's talking about the Vorta.
Oh, the Vorta.
The date she gave was nearly 2,000 years ago, not long after the Dominion was founded. This facility's older than we thought. Much older.
2,000-year-old facility. Well, they've been at this for a while, then.
Research Report 4653.15, Dominion Reckoning. Our scouts have discovered an interesting species of solids at the edge of the Dominion. They are a species of sentient insectoids that live primarily underground. We may not have detected them were it not for a thorough geological scan.
The Herc, maybe?
Initial studies have revealed that these solids are based on germanium. I've attached bioscan data we collected on them for your review. I've dispatched a research unit to study these burrows further. They may be just what we need for the military initiative.
Ooh, so 2,000 years ago, the Founders had a clear plan for what they wanted. A military initiative, which I guess became the Jem'Hadar later on, but maybe they intended the Herc to be the first of these military initiatives?
Burrowing sentient insectoids. Germanium-based. She must be talking about the Herc. Judging by the date, the Founders made first contact with the Herc nearly 2,000 years ago.
It's getting interesting, folks. This is the kind of stuff I love learning about. That door is locked. I just wanted to double check.
Research report, Dominion date 7021.27. More data has arrived on the cadre species 484 designation, Burrows. Their world's unusual orbital path has taken it out of the habitable zone. As a result, the Burrows have retreated underground and entered a state of hibernation. While dormant, a smaller cervical race tends to the Burrows. They also maintain their shared habitat and technology. I've instructed the field team to take advantage of their dormancy period, and they are now conducting aggressive studies of these intriguing solids. My team initiated first contact protocols with the borrowers prior to their mass dormancy. They found them to be friendly and intelligent, if not willful. We've identified a common element in their food supply. Manipulation of this element may prove useful in subjugating them.
Wow, so yeah, the Founders are not nice. They want to subjugate the solids.
Unbelievable. It sounds like the Founders made first contact with the Herc in order to find a way to conquer them. It's like Quark says, the bigger the smile, the sharper the knife.
So maybe the Herc were initially friendly. Could be.
Research report 7903.01, Dominion reckoning. Cadre species 468, designation Jem'Hadar, is a massive success. They will be the strong arm of our Dominion, guided by our cunning, brilliant Vorta. The toil of these vassals will allow us to spend more time in the link with those we hold most dear.
Wow, okay.
The birth of the Jem'Hadar, as seen through a Founder's eyes. Interesting. No mention of the Herc, however. Their designation number was lower than ours. They were our predecessors. Perhaps something went wrong? Something that led the Founders to reject and abandon them for a different species. Us.
It appears that way. Something must have happened, and they chose the Jem'Hadar instead of the Herc. But the Herc were the original intended Jem'Hadar. That's very interesting. Oh, that just goes around there. Okay.
Research report Dominion date 8183.67. The burrowers have emerged once again, and in a hostile state. They have taken to the stars, moving from sector to sector, attacking anyone that crosses their path. Their goal is not one of conquest, but of consumption.
Oh.
They leave nothing but dead worlds in their wake.
Okay.
Though we do not understand their newfound savagery, we have found a use for it. When the burrowers set their sights on a world, we offer the inhabitants a choice. Those that submit to our Dominion rule are defended by the Jem'Hadar. Those that don't serve as an object lesson to others.
Ooh.
So, the Founders have been using the Herc to manipulate others for some time now. Bend the knee to the Dominion, or we'll stand back and let them ravage your world. Only now something's different. Something's changed. They can't keep the Herc in line with the Jem'Hadar anymore. And we're all paying the price.
So they've been playing a nasty game for a long time, and now, 2,000 years later, they're losing that game.
Research report 8532.38. Our scouts have returned from a wormhole expedition. The solid races on the other side are primitive and unremarkable, save for one. They are called Klingons, and show a singular talent for violence, one that rivals our own Jem'Hadar. Left unchecked, these savage creatures could become dangerous enemies.
So they viewed us and everybody else in the Alpha Quadrant primitive and unremarkable, except they're scared of the Klingons. Wow.
While the Klingons are too willful to subjugate, their genetic material could produce viable cohorts to the Jem'Hadar, or their replacements. We have begun development of a new cadre species, designation Thakiri, using demons from Klingon folklore for inspiration. As with Jem'Hadar, we have bound them to our service with the White. We will test them in combat on the Klingons themselves.
Okay, now that is another twist and turn in the storyline. The Thakiri were created by the founders to use against the Klingons in their folklore by making them demonic-like and using their folklore against them. Well, the founders were just way ahead of everybody a long time ago. Excuse me. So the whole Thakiri invasion of Kronos was spearheaded by the Dominion, by the founders. Wow, just mind-blowing, really. And the Thakiri are subject by the White. I didn't know that. By the Ketracel White. So that's another interesting thing. We didn't really know that about the Thakiri either. They use Ketracel White, or were subjugated by that kept them in line by using the White. They needed it from the founders in order to survive, I guess. Wow, just absolutely wow. So, and so this must have been a couple of thousand years ago. So the founders had made it all the way into the Alpha Quadrant a couple of thousand years ago, all the way back to, I guess, 2,000 years ago. I mean, we were definitely primitive back then, for sure, and I guess all the other species were too. Most of them, even the Vulcans, they weren't. I don't know where the Vulcans were in 2,000 years ago, but maybe so. I don't know. I don't know when the Vulcans and Romulans split. I don't know how many thousands of years ago that was. But anyway, yeah, everybody was more primitive. Wouldn't have been a threat at the time, except maybe the Klingons. Wow, this is like some really, really, really cool history stuff here. I'm just trying to think this all through because this is amazing.
Research Report Supplemental Entry 8671.71 Dominion Reckoning. Somehow the Thakiri have broken the hold of the White and turned on their rightful masters. Most of our research team were killed. Intelligence reports suggest a union between the Thakiri and a Klingon warlord known as Mular. Perhaps this will lead to a state of mutually assured destruction on Kronos. One can only hope.
So way back then, and they broke their hold of the Ketracel White and turned on their masters. Amazing. Okay, the founders made the Thakiri?
So it would seem. Only they lost control of them, despite the use of Ketracel White. Based on what we know about Thakiri, it seems the price they paid for their freedom was insanity. They became the monsters they were based on.
So originally they were not that way. They were made to portray the demons of the Klingons' folklores. Wow. I'm just such a good story. This is great. All right, what's next?
Research Report 9076.23. Final entry. I am weary. Soon I'll return to the Great Link, and I will be glad to be rid of this place. The borrowers have emerged again. We can barely control them this time. The Jem'Hadar were able to divert their onslaught at great cost. Rather than counterattack, they went through the wormhole to seek easier prey. Our agents in the other quadrants report that the burrow assault was a sweeping one, going as far as Kronos. Hopefully they'll devour every atom of that wretched planet. The burrowers will eventually return to dormancy. Strangely, it appears that some of their forces intend on remaining in the other quadrants. It seems they have a long-term goal. galactic devastation.
Okay, so that explains why the Herc attacked Kronos a long time ago. They did come through to this part of space, this quadrant of space, and attacked the Klingons. And boy, the Klingons have really had a hard time. I see why they are the kind of species they are. And man, the Founders really have it out for the Klingons, let me say. So they steered the Herc into other quadrants.
Yes. They knew the Herc problem was getting worse even then. Instead of preparing or seeking allies, they expanded the Dominion. And when the Herc re-emerged, they tried to deal with it on their own, and failed.
Just got too big for
Their
them.
arrogance may lead to the end of the Dominion. We need to get this data to the Alliance, all of it, even the damaged and corrupted files. There has to be information we can use in here.
Agreed.
I'm picking up something on my tricorder. There was a massive power spike on a lower deck, and now I'm reading a large number of systems cycling up. Something's happening down there.
Agreed. Take your team and Captain Kira down to investigate. I'll remain here and pull as much of the data as possible. We won't get another chance at this.
That was just such a cool revelation there. All of that. Amazing. I mean, whew. It's a lot. That's the kind of stuff I like learning about.
We must be close to the core. Hope we don't have to leave in a hurry. There's no way our ships can lock onto us down here
Why
with
is that
transporters.
person flying through the air?
Tell me about it. Let's stay focused on the mission. Now that we're closer to the signal, I'm getting better readings on my tricorder. I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure everything that came online down here has some sort of medical purpose.
Okay.
I'm still uncertain about Odo. I need to be sure he's still not a part of all this. The Odo I knew wouldn't have risked Bajor like that. This Odo seems arrogant and reckless, even dangerous.
Maybe he's not our Odo. My Anar disappeared. She apparently went through the walls. There's a Fakiri. Lots of them in stasis. Wow, they did make him look really, really, really scary. That is just too cool.
Well, that answers one question. These are medical stasis pods. Judging by what we heard upstairs, I think the occupants are Fakiri.
I think so too.
It gets worse. I'm picking up life signs ahead. I'll bet some of the stasis pods down here have opened. From what we know about the Fakiri, they probably won't be happy to see us. Worf and Martok need to see this.
Yeah, they definitely do. We need to, like, inform the Klingons. I mean, just, it's a really cool storyline.
I'm picking up traces of Ketracel white in these tanks. The Dominion probably manufactured it here to keep the Fakiri in line, and took it with them when they left the facility. So, we have a station full of angry Fakiri with no way to pacify them. We've got company, and they don't look friendly.
Well, they're easy to deal with. Nope, that one was hiding. Oh, what did she say?
We're lucky there were only a few of them. I don't want to be around if all of these Fakiri wake up. Let's see if we can find some way to keep the rest of these pods from opening.
Oh, hello.
By the prophets.
Well, that's a lot.
More incoming. We need an exit plan. Fast.
Odo to Kira, we're on our way to assist you.
Well, they're
Maurice,
not.
Are you...
What happened?
I'll manage. Let's get out of here while we can.
Was she? Oh, there's a big one.
Victory is life.
So is Rock Juno, but I don't say it every 5 seconds.
I didn't see the big one fighting her. She must have got knocked down or something. Okay.
I think we've worn out our welcome.
Oh.
I think we've worn out our welcome. Garrick informs me that a number of unidentified vessels are emerging from hidden bays throughout the station. To make matters worse, the Herc have arrived. They're beginning to assault the station as we speak, and I don't need to tell you how that will end. It's time to leave.
Okay, I guess we're heading back up. But I wonder, is there anything like up on these stairs? I mean, I never really got to explore the area. That's where the Fakiri over here got out. Yeah, I'm stuck inside the pod. I guess there's no way to the very upper levels. I just wanted to check around. You never know what might be lurking somewhere. But I guess nothing.
Looks like the Herc followed us down here.
I wonder what they wanted.
Keep moving. We're almost there.
Huh.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
Maybe the Catcher Cell White affected it?
You might be right. Listen.
Who did that? Vorta? Wayun? Jem'Hadar?
Are you insane?
It was trying to communicate. The catcher cell white, like, deraged it. What is happening? Talk to Wayun.
I'm relieved to see you well. It's fortunate we arrived when we did. A moment later, and that creature would have attacked the Founder.
The situation was under control, Wayun.
Odo wasn't in any danger, Wayun. That Herc was peaceful. It was trying to communicate with us.
That's your opinion. Mine is that a Founder was in danger of being attacked by a member of an aggressive species. My duty was clear, as is my conscience. We're wasting time here, Captain. The station is on the verge of being overrun by the Herc. If you want to communicate with them some more, you're free to do so, but I recommend we leave immediately.
Maybe the catcher cell white, like, deraged it. Maybe whatever the Dominion or Founders did to the Herc made them angry, and the catcher cell white actually calms them down, made them insane without the catcher cell white or something. Or maybe just like the Fakiri, maybe that's it. Maybe the Herc were also addicted to the catcher cell white, but without it, they go insane, just like the Fakiri do. And maybe with it, they regain their saneness. Could it be that simple? I do wonder. There's definitely a lot more going on than we know about. This is for sure.
Once we return to the upper levels, we will be able to beam up and leave this place. Are you ready to...
Yeah, I guess let's go.
Glad you could join us. As you can see, the situation here has become rather combustible. The Herc I recognize, of course, but our other opponents remain a mystery. Some new type of Dominion attack craft, perhaps?
Not new, old. They're Fakiri.
Fakiri? The monsters from stories that keep naughty Klingon children in line? I'm intrigued. Be sure to fill me in once we've managed to get out of the skirmish intact.
So the Fakiri are here.
I remember Mr. Worf mentioning the Fakiri once. Beginning to see why.
I want this dreadnought.
These Fakiri ships are tough, Ranger Bullocks.
Oh, look at all these. Look at all this loot to take.
Reading a massive Herc fleet dropping out of warp.
Holy nuts.
Just as the Fakiri are warping out.
Yeah, they don't want to deal with the Herc, huh? Okay.
Looks like the Fakiri are pursuing the better part of Valor. Can't say I blame them. There's a lot of Herc out there.
The Herc seem to be distracted. There's something about the station that's holding their attention. We might be able to take advantage of this.
Are you suggesting we attack? While it's true we have the advantage, for now, I don't think we'll hold it for long once we start blowing them apart. We have what we came for. If the Herc want to gnaw on an asteroid while we make a hasty exit, I believe we should let them enjoy their meal in peace.
Let them enjoy their meal.
Very well. We'll deal with the Herc later. For now, let's get back so we can analyze the research data we found here. Whenever you're ready.
I wonder, can I fight anyway? I guess not. No, it's not going to let us attack them. I was like, well, maybe if I stay. Nope. We can only go back to DS9, but let me take all my loot. Because
You are wasting time. We should leave.
I know I'm wasting time, but I like wasting time. Okay, there's a lot of Herc there. What if I waste more time? You gonna talk to me some more? Maybe I want to waste time. Maybe I like wasting time.
You are
Very
wasting
well.
time.
We'll deal
we
with
should
the
leave.
Herc later.
Fine, whatever. Wow. Okay. Big space battle. One thing I like about the Gamma Quadrant mission so far is there are a lot of big space battles. So if you like space battles, this is the series for you. A good test of your ship's abilities.
The Founders never disappoint, do they? Learning their role in the creation of Klingon mythology was alarming, to say the least. I can't help but wonder what other secrets we'll learn once those ancient data files are restored. I'm afraid I have bad news to share. I reviewed your encounter with that peaceful Herc, and my universal translator analysis is clear. It was trying to communicate. It was asking for help.
I knew it.
One thing is certain. The Founders won't forget our act of defiance. We should all be on guard from now on. Our uneasy peace with the Dominion could unravel all too soon.
They are bad people. Well, let's take the Fakiri Chaos Blaze. It generates a patch of fire at the target's location. Does fire damage. 50% shield penetration. Foes caught in initial blast are confused. It's Chaos Blaze. A confused Chaos Blaze. Okay. I'll try it. I like to try new things. Well, we turned that in and we're done with that mission, okay? Well, that was very interesting. Doomed to repeat. I see now why it's called Doomed to Repeat. Very interesting what we learned about the Founders and what they've done in the past, meddling in everybody's history, it seems like, even all the way into the Alpha Quadrant. We've got them meddling with the Klingons a bunch of times, creating the Fakiri, using their religion against them to turn them demonic, and fight the... I see now why the Klingons would have looked at them as like their, you know, their devil or whatever coming to get them, you know, because the Dominion, the Founders engineered them directly for that, to be that. And of course they would have had no idea. So amazing. Of course they would have taken it that way, and it would be a huge part of their religion. Amazing how that worked out. And then even later on, the Herc. They messed with the Herc and the Hurk come attack the Klingons. The Klingons really get a bad set of action things toward them. The Dominion really had it out for the Klingons, let me tell you, or the Founders. I can see why the Klingons ended up like they did, or do. But it's just all very interesting. I'm trying to take it in and connect the dots and see what, makes sense. I kind of need to go back and play the Fakiri missions on KDF now to make those connections. But very cool anyway. And yeah, it's amazing because who knows what else the Founders have done in the past. What other influences have they had beyond that? And apparently they are the ones that maybe angered the Hurk and brought them around all these different quadrants, and that's pretty crazy. So the Founders had a huge reach way back then. I guess they would have had, they would have had to have very technologically advanced starships back then. A Founder can't just fly through space, can they, on their own? I don't know how, but they must have had or used somebody's technology to get these aliens to different places. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they must have had some really advanced technologies before the obviously they did, before the Jem'Hadar, before the Vorta. They created that Dominion station inside of an asteroid well before the Vorta and Jem'Hadar. So I don't know where they got their technologies from, but the Founders must have at some point become technological themselves, right? Or somehow got the technology to do all that stuff and then travel to other places. So it's interesting. I'd like to learn their history a little bit more there too. But all this is definitely new information. I love it. So a lot of good stuff there. Exactly what I was looking for out of that mission, to learn something crazy. And yeah, wow. I just don't know what to say. I like that. I like it a lot, and I cannot wait to see where we are headed. And now I'm questioning if Odo is really Odo, because, Kira says that he's not quite acting like the Odo she knows. And he's not. He is being a little odd Odo. So I do wonder what's happening there. And of course, the female Founder is just as evil as ever. So the Founders are just evil. They're just bad. They're just bad things, bad people. They want dominion, in the literal sense of the word. They want dominion. And they trick worlds into, blackmail worlds into joining their dominion. Yeah, and they haven't learned their lesson, hence doomed to repeat. And now they can't keep up with the Hurk. The Hurk are just outnumber them too much. And I'm wondering why that one went friendly all of a sudden and is asking for help. They must be subjugated by the Founders. Has to be. And then, I can't wait to see how this all turns out. It's very, very epic in scale, and I like that. So it looks like the next mission is called Quark's Lucky 7. Thank you all for watching this one. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think of Doomed to Repeat. If you have played it or not played it, and this was your first viewing of it, what you think of it. And I look forward to the next mission. And thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.